Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the 2009-10 hockey season replay on the channel. Tonight's action takes us to Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan for Block 19, as the Phoenix Coyotes are in town to play the Detroit Red Wings. The Red Wings, we're jumping into this one with the Red Wings leading 3-2 in the third period, as we jump in with all of our Inside the Crease games. Looking at the standings, we see the Red Wings with 16 wins, 11 losses, and 5 ties, good for 37 points in second place in the Central Division, only 3 points behind the division-leading Blackhawks. But the Coyotes are only 1 point behind them in the overall rankings. 17 wins, 13 losses, 2 overtime losses, good for 36 points. Now, right now, Phoenix would not be a playoff team. Actually, Phoenix would be a playoff team right now. They need to get their act together because, remember, I take the 2 best teams in each division and the 2 best wild cards. So we'll see what happens in this one. Just checking the camera to make sure it didn't freeze on me. So, I think we are all set. We're also starting at even strength. Just giving my glasses a quick check. I'm going to actually give them a quick cleaning, and then we'll be ready to jump into this game. So bear with me just a second while I clean my glasses. Okay. We are all set, so let's jump into the action. Face-offs here are +1 to Detroit. We're starting at even strength. That'll be pulled over to Stewart for the Red Wings. Oops, got to flip on my other 2 lights here at the desk. And now we're off and running. I've already ticked off our time. That'll get passed over to Bertuzzi. Interception at the center, and right wing's defense is greater than or equal to 6. It is. So that'll be O'Coin making that interception. O'Coin with it, he'll pass it over to Yandel. Penalty if the lefty's penalty is greater than or equal to 6. Stewart's a 1. A 7 is going to be a shot 1 against Howard. That'll be a 32 on a shot 1. That's a rebound chance. That'll be the home left wing. That'll be Zetterberg with it for Detroit. As we continue ticking off, Bertuzzi will have it. Force dumping if the lefty's defense is greater than or equal to 4. O'Coin is a 4. He will dump that. That'll get forced dump in. Puck battle is offensive left wing or offensive right wing versus defensive lefty +4. O'Coin will have that for Phoenix. 18:40 to play. That'll get passed up to Doan. Penalty if any defender's penalty is greater than or equal to 3. Zetterberg is a 21 with the minor, so we'll have a possible penalty, but an 8 is a shot 2 on Howard. That's a 36 on a shot 2. That's a rebound chance. Offensive left D versus defensive left D +2. The +2 will bring it over to Stewart, which will touch the puck up. We'll blow the whistle, check the penalty on Zetterberg. 38, that's going to sail into the bench, and we'll have a face-off back to the left of Howard, as Phoenix able to get some pressure on the Red Wings early here in the third period. We'll flip over for a face-off. Datsuk's going to get kicked out of the bubble. Face-offs are now +1 to Phoenix, which a +8 will pull that back to Stewart, and we're off once again. That'll get passed over to Zetterberg. Penalty if the right wing penalty greater than or equal to 4. Doan is a 2. 10 for Zetterberg is going to be a shot 2 on Brizgalov. A 48 on Brizgalov on a shot 2. That's going to be a save. Brizgalov will hold on. He'll get the face-off. We'll take that face-off to the left of Brizgalov this time, as we'll drop the puck. +1 to Detroit. +5 will bring it over to Hansel for Phoenix, just in time for line changes. Hansel will make his move, and then he'll get off the ice for Phoenix. That'll get passed over to Mikhailiuk. Takeaway, if the center's takeaway is greater than or equal to 1, Draper is a 2, so he's going to take that puck away. I know you're supposed to flip over another card to get who actually makes the takeaway, but if the defensive player passes the check, that just makes more sense to me. That's a house rule I use. 17:40 to play. That'll get passed over to Holmstrom. Takeaway, if the right wing takeaway is greater than or equal to 2, speaking of which, Pruk is a 3, he'll have that for Phoenix. Passed over to Mikhailiuk. Loose puck, if the left wing's hit is greater than or equal to 3, Holmstrom is a 3, he'll knock that puck loose. Into a loose puck, we'll have a face-off, and of course, I don't play with injuries. So, that face-off will come back to one of the dots outside center ice. Face-offs are now +3 to Phoenix. That'll go over to Mikhailiuk, and he'll have that for the Coyotes. And we're off. That'll get passed over to Lepisto. Interception of the center and right wing's defense is greater than or equal to 12. They're a 6. 38, that's going to be a pass by Lepisto. He'll move that up to Winnick. Ticking off time. That'll get passed over to Hansel. Interception if the lefty and right D's defense is greater than or equal to 6. Lidstrom's a 5 by himself. Lebda will push that over the top. That will be, speaking of Lidstrom, he'll make that interception himself. Passed up to Draper. Forced dumping if the right D's defense greater than or equal to 6. Mikhailiuk is a 4. Draper will have that with a 38. That's going to be a great pass. He'll set up Cleary with a 40. That'll be a shot one on Brizgalov in the slot. Not a good chance from the slot, though. 96. That'll get dropped off. And it'll be Pruka picking that up, just in time for another set of line changes. Pruka with it for Phoenix. That'll get passed up to Lombardi. Then he'll get off the ice. Interception if the left wing and lefty's defense is greater than or equal to 8. Miller and Cronwall are a 7. 32 for Lombardi. He's going to make a pass. And that'll move over to Vandermeer. 15:40 to play. That'll get passed up to Upshaw. Forced dumping if the lefty's defense is greater than or equal to 1. Cronwall is a 4. That puck's going to get dumped in. And it will be a puck battle, offensive left wing versus defensive right D +5. That'll come over to Erickson for Detroit. 15:20 to play. That'll get passed up to Miller. Takeaway if the right D's take is greater than or equal to 8. Vandermeer's a 3. That'll be a 22 for Miller. He's going to make a pass. And that'll move over to Cronwall. 15 minutes to play in the period. Passing up to Eves. Forced dumping if the lefty's defense is greater than or equal to 7. Jovanovski is a 4. A 5 for Eves. That'll be a shot 4 on Brizgalov. That's a pretty good one. 22. That's a rebound chance, though. Visiting left wing, Korpikoski has that for Phoenix. 14:40 to play. Passing over to Lombardi. Forced dumping if the right D's defense is greater than or equal to 8. Erickson's a 4. A 1. That's going to be a shot 5 on Howard. And a 1, score! As Matthew Lombardi makes Howard go cold. More importantly, once I find the remote, here we are. We are tied at 3 here to start the third. Arena groans. Ugh. That is Lombardi. That's going to be from Korpikoski. And Vandermeer. As we are tied here at 3 in the third period. Face-off will come back to center ice. Howard now doubting himself a little bit. That was actually a pretty bad goal to let. Actually, that was a pretty good shot. Face-offs are even right now. That will be Jovanovski with it for Phoenix. And we're off once again. Ticking off more time. That'll get passed up to Korpikoski. Interception of the right wing and right D's defense greater than or equal to 11. Eves and Erickson are a 7. 27, Korpikoski is going to make a pass. That'll move over to Lombardi. Just in time for line changes once again. Okay, that'll get passed over to O'Coin. Interception if the center and right wing's defense is greater than or equal to 10. They're a 5. That'll be a 2 for O'Coin. That'll be a shot 3 on Howard. 9 on a shot 3, and score! Adrian O'Coin gives the Coyotes a 4-3 lead here in the third. Arena groans. Ugh. Let's see, that will flip over a couple cards to get assists. That'll be from Yandel. And Lombardi. Man, the way the Coyotes are playing in this one, they must have been ready for their close-up. This is actually the Coyotes' debut on the board on the channel, whereas Detroit has been on the board once before. Let's see if they can stand up to the bright lights here. Faceoffs are +3 to Phoenix. And Lombardi is going to get kicked out. Faceoffs are now +2 to Detroit. That'll get pulled over to Abdelkader, and we're off once again. Abdelkader with it for the Red Wings. He'll pass it over to Leno. Force dumping if the lefty's defense is greater than or equal to 8. O'Coin is a 4. Leno will have that with a 40. He's going to make a great pass. He will set up Rafalski with a 27. That'll be a shot 1 against Brizgalov. And a 33. That's a rebound chance. Offensive left D versus defensive right wing. That'll be over to Doan for Phoenix. 11:20 to play. Passing over to Miller. Loose puck if the right D's hit is greater than or equal to 4. Rafalski is a 2. That's a 3 for Miller. That's going to be a shot 4 on Howard. And a 15 on a shot 4. Score! The Coyotes are just teeing off on the Red Wings here, as it is now 5-3. As Miller will have that. That was from, well, we'll flip over a couple cards to get assists. That'll be from Lombardi, who's getting his... Actually, I thought that was going to be his first assist. That's his second point of the night, though. He does have a goal as well. And just the 1 assist. As the Coyotes are lighting up the Red Wings here, 5-3. With 11:20 to play here in the third. Faceoffs remain +1 to Phoenix. +4 will pull that over to Stewart, as the Red Wings are now finding themselves with their backs against the wall. That'll get passed up to Filppula. Penalty if the right D's penalty is greater than or equal to 2. Yandel is a 2. 12. That's going to be a shot 1 against Brizgalov. A 59. Brizgalov will make the save. He'll hold on for the faceoff, but we'll check the penalty on Yandel. A 3. He is going off for a minor. Yandel will be off for 2 minutes for high sticking. We'll make a defensive change. And then the Coyotes will go without a center for 2 minutes. As Yandel finds himself in the bin for high sticking. Faceoffs right now are +2 to Detroit. Let's see if the Red Wings can take advantage of this power play. That'll be over to Stewart. Red Wings need 2 to equalize this. That'll get passed over to Rafalski. Interception if the center and left wing's defense is greater than or equal to 5. They're a 1. 13, that's going to be a giveaway. There is no center, so instead that puck's going to sail out of play, and we'll have a face-off. As we'll bring the teams back to center ice. Face-offs remain +2 to Detroit. That'll get pulled over to Filppula, and we're off once again. He'll pass that over to Leno. Loose puck if the right D's hit is greater than or equal to 6. Mikhailik's a 3. That'll be a 40 on the power play. Leno with an assist chance. He's setting somebody up. Setting Filppula up with a 7. That'll be a shot 4 on Brizgalov. And a shot 4 of a 35. And that's a rebound chance. Offensive left wing versus defensive right D +2. Offensive left wing is Abdelkader with a 4 versus defensive right D even without the +2. Mikhailik will have that for Phoenix. Just in time for line changes. Although that does serve as a good reminder that the Coyotes are eventually going to need a new center as well. So I'm just making that change now. Mikhailiuk will have that for Phoenix. He'll pass that over to Jovanovski. Then he'll get off the ice. Penalty if the lefty's penalty is greater than or equal to 5. Lidstrom is a 1. 13 shorthanded. That'll be a pass. He'll move that over to Vandermeer. 9:40 to play here in the third. Passing over to Verbata. Force dumping if the center's defense is greater than or equal to 7. Datsuk is a 3. And 11, that's going to be a pass by Verbata. That'll move over to Vandermeer. 9:20 to play. That'll be passed over to Pyatt. Interception if the right wing and right D's defense is greater than or equal to 12. They're a 5. 4, that's going to be a giveaway. And Datsuk doesn't have the breakaway for this, but he will have control of that puck for Detroit, as Phoenix has done a masterful job killing off the penalty. Arena groans. Ugh. Datsuk in control of the puck, though. He'll pass that over to Lebda. Penalty if the left wing's penalty is greater than or equal to 4. Pyatt is a 3. 36, that'll be a pass by Lebda. He'll move that over to Lidstrom. 8:40 to play. Passing up to Bertuzzi. Loose puck if the lefty's defense is greater than or equal to 8. Jovanovski's a 4. 21 for Bertuzzi is going to be a shot 0 on Brizgalov. A 2 on a shot 0, that's a rebound. That'll be Lebda with a 14. That's a shot 1 on Brizgalov. 94, that'll get dropped off by Brizgalov as Vandermeer comes in, takes the puck. 8:20 to play. Passing over to Jovanovski. Interception of the center and left wing's defense greater than or equal to 12. It's a 6. 37, that's going to be an assist chance for Jovanovski. He is setting up Verbata with a 14. That'll be a shot 3 on Howard. 66 on a shot 3. Save made by Howard. He'll draw the whistle. We'll get a face-off. As the fans here at the Joe are not happy, and they're letting the Red Wings know it, as the Coyotes lead this one 5-3. Again, it looks like Phoenix came ready for their close-up tonight. Face-offs are +1 to Detroit. That will send the pawn flying, but that'll come over to Lebda, and we're off just in time for a set of line changes. Lebda will make his move as usual, and then he'll get off the ice. Okay. That'll get passed over to Cronwall. Interception at the center and left wing's defense is greater than or equal to 10. They're a 6. 5 is going to be a shot 1 on Brizgalov. 23 is a rebound chance. Offensive center versus defensive center +2. Even without the +2, Lombardi will have that for Phoenix. 7:40 to play. That'll get passed over to Pruka. Loose puck of the left wing's hit is greater than or equal to 5. Holmstrom's a 3. A 2, that's going to be a shot 4 on Howard. 10 on a shot 4. That's a rebound chance, and Howard's gone hot. So we'll check the rebound. Offensive right wing +3 versus defensive lefty. Pruka will have that with a rebound shot. 22 will be a shot 2 on Howard. An 82 on a shot 2. That'll get dropped off by Howard. And that will be Draper picking that up for Detroit. 7:20 to play. Passed over to Lebda. Interception of the center and left wing's defense greater than or equal to 8. They're a 6. 26, that'll be a pass by Lebda, as he'll move that up to Cleary. 7 minutes to play here in the third. Passing over to Lebda. Force dump in if the left wing's defense is greater than or equal to 8. Winnick is a 3. A 10 for Lebda. That's going to be a giveaway. If the left wing's break is greater than or equal to 6, Winnick is a 1, but he will have control of that puck. 6:40 to play. That'll get passed over to Pruka. Takeaway if the left wing's take is greater than or equal to 6. Holmstrom's a 3. 31. I'm going to bring the other deck and shot because I'm probably not going to have a stoppage to do that, so I'm going to do that now. 31 is going to be a pass by Pruka, as he'll move that over to O'Coin. 6:20 to play here in the third. Passing up to Winnick. Takeaway if the right wing's take is greater than or equal to 5. Cleary's a 2. 24, that's going to be a pass by Winnick, as he's moving that over to Pruka. Coyotes are trying to eat up clock here as we get another line change. Oop, Pruka not ready to get off the ice yet. Now he is, as he'll move that over to Korpikoski. Penalty if the right wing's penalty is greater than or equal to 3. Eves is a 2. So actually, yeah, actually, I got that backwards. He's a 1. That's a 2 for Eves. So there will be a penalty, which we'll check after this. 21 is going to make a pass. That'll get touched up, so we'll check the penalty. 24, Eves is going off. He's going off for 2 minutes for hooking, as Phoenix could potentially be looking for the dagger here. We'll see what Phoenix is able to do with the power play. Face-offs here are still even. A +6 will come over to Stewart for the home team, and we're off. That'll get passed up to Miller. Penalty if the center's penalty is greater than or equal to 3. Fiddler's a 2. A 22, that'll get sent the length of the ice by Miller, and that'll be Michalik tracking that down. 5:20 to play. Passing up to Korpikoski. Penalty if the right D's penalty is greater than or equal to 4. Erickson is a 3. A 20 on the power play. That's going to be a pass. And that'll move over to Upshall. 5 minutes to play here in the third. Passing right back to Korpikoski. Takeaway if the left wing's take is greater than or equal to 2. Miller is a 3. He'll take that puck away. 4:40 to play. That'll get passed over to Erickson. Interception if the right wing and right D's defense greater than or equal to 9. They're a 6. A 14. That'll get sent the length of the ice. Upshall will go back to track it down for Phoenix. 4:20 to play. Passing over to Fiddler. Interception if the left wing and left D's defense is greater than or equal to 5. Stewart's a 5 by himself. And that will be Erickson making that interception. And just in time for line changes, Detroit kills the penalty. Just checking to make sure the camera hasn't surprise frozen on me tonight. Erickson with it for Detroit. That'll get passed up to Filppula, then he'll get off the ice. Penalty if the center's penalty is greater than or equal to 7. Lang's a 2. 24 for Filppula. He's going to make a pass, as that'll move over to Lidstrom. 3:40 to play here in the third. That'll be passed over to Rafalski. Penalty if the center's penalty is greater than or equal to 2. Lang is a 2. 36 is an assist chance, though. Setting up Leno with a 13. That'll be a shot 3 on Brizgalov. A 63. Save made by Brizgalov. He'll smother it and get the face-off. We'll check the penalty on Lang. That's a 26, so Lang is going off for 2 minutes. He's going off for boarding. Can't check when you see the numbers on the back. We'll take the face-off to the left of Brizgalov momentarily. Before we do, though, I will mention that tomorrow night's game will take us to the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey for an Eastern Conference matchup in Stratomatic hockey between the Ottawa Senators and the New Jersey Devils. We'll take a look at their standings here in a second. Ottawa is currently in second place in the Northeast Division with 37 points. New Jersey is in third in the Atlantic Division with 29 points. New Jersey right now would not be a playoff team, but I'm getting more than a little ahead of myself at that. I'm getting more than a little ahead of myself on that, because it is December after all. In the replay, it's December. It is most definitely not December according to the calendar. Anyway, face-offs are +2 to Detroit. They need 2 here. A +6, though, will pull that over to the center, except there is no center for Phoenix, so we'll flip again. Still center, +7 to the right wing, so Doan will have that instead for Phoenix. That'll get passed over to Miller. Penalty if the left wing's penalty is greater than or equal to 4, or 2. Abdelkader is a 4. An 18 is an assist chance, though. He's setting up Vandermeer with a 16. That'll be a shot 2 on Howard, as Vandermeer somehow got free. 76 on a shot 2. That'll be a save made, and we'll check the penalty on Abdelkader. And an 8, we're going to have matching minors, as Abdelkader is going off for high sticking. So the yellow pawn is for the very brief power play that Phoenix will have after the 4-on-4 is over. Face-offs are still +2 to Detroit. That'll get pulled over to Rafalski, and we're off once again. Passing up to Filppula. Interception of the lefty and righty's defense greater than or equal to 9. They're an 8, so they just barely miss. 31, though, is going to be a pass. And that'll move over to Filppula. Actually, that'll sail out of play, and we'll have a face-off. I only do that if I can't fill either of the pass twos. Face-offs remain +2 to Detroit, which will pull over to Filppula, and we're off. That'll be passed over to Leno. Loose puck of the left wing's hit is greater than or equal to 6. Miller's a 2. 30, he's going to make a pass with a very restless Joe Louis Arena crowd. That'll move over to Rafalski. 2:20 to play in the game. Passed over to Lidstrom. Interception of the center and right wing's defense greater than or equal to 5. Doan can't get it over the top himself. A 15 for Lidstrom. That'll be a giveaway. And that'll be over to Miller. No breakaway, though, as his breakaway isn't high enough. 2 minutes to play, and we've got line changes. Okay, 2 minutes to play here in the third period. 2 minutes. That'll get passed over. Miller will hold that himself. Loose puck of the right wing's hit is greater than or equal to 6. Bertuzzi's a 3. 14 is going to be a shot one on Howard. A 68. That'll be a save made by Howard. He'll get the whistle. And we'll take a face-off to the right of Howard. I'm going to take a drink of my Crystal Light real quick. And we'll go into the last 2 minutes of this game. Face-offs +4 to Detroit. Datsuk gets kicked out, so face-offs are now even. That'll come over to Datsuk as Bertuzzi's going to win that draw. Penalty on Phoenix is now over. So let's see what the Wings are getting up to shorthanded. That'll get Datsuk will hold on to that himself. Right wing defense greater than or equal to 6 for a forced dump in. No. 34. Datsuk will send that the length of the ice. And that will be Miller pulling that in. 1:20 to play here in the third as the penalty for Detroit is now over. This game is just about over, to be honest, though. That'll get passed over to Verbata. Penalty if the left wing's penalty is greater than or equal to 5. Zetterberg is a 2. 29, that'll be a shot 0 on Howard. 45, Howard will make the save, and rather than take a chance with a bouncing puck, he'll smother that, get the face-off. Face-offs are now +1 to Detroit as we're looking for the end of the game. Bertuzzi with that, and he will have that for Detroit as they're hoping for a miracle here. That'll get passed over to Cronwall. Penalty if the lefty's penalty is greater than or equal to 7. O'Coin is a 4. 31, that'll be a pass. And that'll move up to Zetterberg. 40 seconds to play. That'll get passed over to Datsuk. Forced dumping if the lefty's defense is greater than or equal to 2. O'Coin is a 4. That'll get dumped in. Goalie will recover. Brzgalov will leave that for O'Coin. 20 seconds to play here in the third. That'll get passed up to Hansel. Loose puck if the center's hit is greater than or equal to 2. To 1. Datsuk is a 2. So we've got a loose puck. And that'll be Yandel pulling that in for Phoenix. But there's the horn to end the game. And Phoenix just teeing off on Detroit, getting 3 unanswered goals in the third period of this one to take that win 5-3. Arena groans. Ugh. I'm just going to update the ticker. There we are. And now I'll do cleanup as usual, and then we'll ask our friends at Final Score Hockey by Downey Games how the rest of the NHL fared. Man, Sunday Night Hockey and the Coyotes showed up ready for prime time. Okay. And here are my logos. Right, here's another bag for that. Oh, right. That was just my phone. Okay. Where's the remote? Right here. We'll reset that, and now we're all set to ask our friends at Final Score Hockey how the rest of the NHL fared. So the Coyotes light up the Red Wings with 3 unanswered in the third period and get a 5-3 victory from coming in trailing 3-2. Let's see how the rest of the NHL fared. First up, on December 14th, we've got the Flyers and the Bruins. Flyers, I-42, that is 3. Bruins, J66, that is 7. And the Bruins will similarly light the Flyers up 7-3. Predators and the Blue Jackets are both I's. Predators roll a 16, that is 2. Blue Jackets roll a 31, that is also 2. Pressure situations all around. Predators are a C, Blue Jackets are an E. A C41 will do about as much for the Predators as an E31 will for the Blue Jackets, which sends us to overtime. Columbus with a chance to win first. And an I-32 won't do anything for them. Neither will an I-21 for the Predators, which means we've got a shootout. Both teams are B's in the shootout, round 1. 34 and up scores, which the Predators will get, the Blue Jackets will just miss. Round 2. Blue Jackets will score this time. Round 3. Neither team will score. Next unanswered goal wins it. Round 4. Both teams will score. Round 5. Predators will score. Blue Jackets will not. The Predators will take that one 3-2 in a shootout. Sabres and the Canadiens. Sabres, I-15 is 1. What the? Canadiens, J-15, that's a big game. 64 is minus 2 columns. So from J, they're rolling on column H now. 26, that is 2. That is a pressure situation for the Sabres. The Sabres are a C under pressure. A C14, though, won't do anything for Buffalo. Montreal will take that win 2-1. Panthers and the Islanders. Panthers, G52 is 3. Islanders, H55, that is 4. And that's a pressure situation for the Panthers. The Panthers are an E under pressure. An E32 won't do anything for Florida. The Islanders will take that win 4-3. Thrashers and the Rangers. Thrashers, H64, that is 5. Rangers, G15 is going to be a lot less than 5, that is 1. Thrashers will take that win 5-1. Senators and the Maple Leafs. Senators, H33 is 2. Maple Leafs, G53, that's a big game for Toronto. '24 is plus 4 columns, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Toronto's rolling on column K. 25, that is 2. Pressure situations all around. Senators are a C. Maple Leafs are an E under pressure. Neither team can do anything with their rolls, which means we go to overtime. Toronto with a chance to win first. A G63 will get it done for Toronto, so that die can spin. That die can spin until the apocalypse, but Toronto will take that win 3-2 in overtime. Kings and the Canucks. Los Angeles, G44, that is 3. Vancouver, P41, that is 4. And that's a pressure situation for Los Angeles. The Kings are a C under pressure. A 21, though, won't do anything for Los Angeles. Vancouver will take that win 4-3. Capitals at the Avalanche. Yeah. Capitals, M11 is 0. Avalanche, K64, that is 6. The Avalanche will take that win 6-0. On to December 15th, by the way. Kings and the Oilers. Kings, I-22 is 2. Oilers are also an I. They roll a 44. That is 3. And that's a pressure situation for LA. They're a C once again under pressure. A 51 won't do anything for Los Angeles. Edmonton will take that game 3-2. Blue Jackets and the Wild are both Gs. Blue Jackets roll a 33, that is 2. Wild roll a 24, which is also 2. Pressure situations all around. Both teams are E's under pressure. Blue Jackets roll a 12, which won't do anything for them. A 64, however, might let the Wild score. Can the Blue Jackets stop them? Now with a 31, the Wild will score, and they'll take that game 3-2. Lightning and the Predators. Lightning, E14, that is 1. Predators, H33, that is 2. That's a pressure situation for the Lightning. They're an E under pressure. A 13 most definitely won't do anything for the Lightning. The Predators will take that game 3-2. Flyers and the Penguins. Flyers, G23 is 2. Pittsburgh, N53, that is 4. That'll be a win for Pittsburgh at home, 4-2. Calgary in St. Louis. Flames, holy cow. F11 is 0. Blues, J16, that is 2, and the Blues will take that win 2-0. December 16th, Dallas at Carolina. Stars, I-36 is 3. Hurricanes, H13, that is 1. Stars will take that win 3-1. Blues and the Blackhawks. St. Louis, E25, that is 1. Blackhawks, O61 is going to be a lot more than 1, that is 6. The Blackhawks will blow out the Blues 6-1. Thrashers and the Panthers. Thrashers, J11 is 0. Panthers, F65, that is 4. Panthers will take that win 4-0. Canadiens and the Devils. Canadiens, E54, that is 3. Devils, K51, that is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Montreal's an E, New Jersey's a C. Montreal can't do anything with an E22, but a C55. New Jersey's got a chance to score. Can Montreal stop them? Not with a 32. The Devils will score they'll score late. They'll take that win 4-3. Battle of New York. Islanders and the Rangers. Yep. Islanders, G44, that is 3. Rangers, F31, that is 2. Pressure situation for the Rangers, they're an E under pressure. A 15 won't do anything for the Rangers, though. The Islanders will take that one 3-2. Sabres and the Senators. Sabres, H12 is 1. Senators, J32, that is 3, and the Senators will take that win 3-1. Coyotes and the Maple Leafs. Coyotes, H43 is 3. Maple Leafs, J44, that is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Coyotes are a B, Maple Leafs are an E. A 61 might give the Coyotes a chance to score. A 14 won't let the Maple Leafs stop them. The Coyotes will score. Now Toronto's got to pull their goalie to try to get the equalizer. An E41 won't help them, though. Phoenix will take that win 4-3. Ducks and the Canucks. Anaheim looks like they wanted this game. G66, that is 5. Canucks, M26, that is 3. And Anaheim will beat Vancouver 5-3. On to December 17th. Stars at the Thrashers. Stars, I-42, that is 3. Thrashers, H23, that is 2. Pressure situation for the Thrashers, they're an E under pressure. A 23 won't do anything for Atlanta. Dallas will take that one 3-2. Coyotes at the Blue Jackets. Coyotes, I-12 is 1. Blue Jackets, J16, that is 2. And that's a pressure situation for the Coyotes. They're a B under pressure. A B25 won't do anything for Phoenix. Columbus will take that win 2-1. LA in Calgary, both teams are I's. Kings roll an 11. Actually, wow. Both teams roll 11s. Which means we've got pressure situations all around. Kings are a C, Flames are a D. 61 might give the Kings a chance to score, but a 53 won't let Calgary stop them. LA will score late in the third. Can Calgary pull their goalie and get the equalizer? A 64, what did he say? D64, that'll let Calgary get the equalizer. 35, LA can't stop them. And all of a sudden, now we've got overtime and Calgary with a chance to win first. Wow, both teams pulling their goalies and getting goals late in the third. An I-56 for Calgary will let them get it done. They will take that game 2-1 in overtime. Lightning in Detroit to play the Red Wings. The Red Wings apparently had stage fright tonight. Who knew? Lightning, F52 is 3. Red Wings, H63, that is 4. That's a pressure situation for Tampa Bay. They're an E under pressure. A 35 won't do anything for the Lightning, though. The Red Wings will take that win 4-3. Nashville and Edmonton to play the Oilers. Predators, G53. G53 is a big game. '32 is +1 column, so they will move G, they'll move over to column H. With a 23, that is 2. Oilers, I-16, that is also 2. Pressure situations all around. Nashville's a C, Edmonton's an E. A 34 won't do anything for Nashville, and a 54 won't do anything for Edmonton either, which means we've got overtime. Edmonton with a chance to win first. Which an I-53 will let Edmonton do. They will take that win 3-2 in overtime. Wild and the Canadiens. Wild, G52, that is 3. Canadiens, H66, that is 5. Montreal takes that win 5-3. Battle of New York flips now, Rangers and the Islanders. Rangers, G14 is 1. Islanders, J56 is going to be a lot more than 1, that's 4. The Islanders will take that win 4-1. Penguins and the Flyers in Pennsylvania rivalry action. Penguins, I-32 is 3. Flyers, J42, that is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Penguins are a C, Flyers are a D. Penguins with a C-32 can't do anything with it. Flyers with a D-61, they'll have a chance to score. Can the Penguins stop them with the net empty? 65, yes they can, which means we go to overtime. Flyers with a chance to win first. Which a J55 for the Flyers will do. The Flyers will take that win 4-3 in overtime. Ducks in San Jose to play the Sharks. Ducks, G22, that is 2. Sharks, K31, that is 3. Pressure situation for Anaheim. The Ducks are an E under pressure. A 33 won't do anything for Anaheim. San Jose will take that win 3-2. That is your final score hockey by Downey Games for this Block 19. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we will be at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey for a little Eastern Conference action as the Ottawa Senators will be playing the New Jersey Devils. As for what else is coming up on the channel, Wednesday we're playing Astronauts by Indie Boards and Cards. And Saturday, Mystical Munchies will conclude out of the Exquisite Exandria Official Critical Role Cookbook as we make the dessert, Berry Surprise Pie. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone. The Phoenix Coyotes make their board debut in this replay, down 3-2 in the third, but get 3 unanswered goals in the third to take this game 5-3 over the Red Wings. Once again, take care, and I will see you guys tomorrow night.